So the Elder Scrolls Skyrim has just been re-released again, but this time with 500 new pieces of buyable Creation Club content in the form of new quests, dungeons, bosses, weapons, spells, a new fishing system, and much more, including new console graphical enhancements. We'll take a look at all of this in a moment because it is rather confusing. But if you haven't already hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with the latest Bethesda news, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell right now. And now let's break this down and look at the details. Now, before we get into today's video, I've actually got a little story for you guys, because Kim actually came to me last week and she said, one of my friends asked me, what's with the G Fuel? Does Danny actually drink that? And she was like, yeah, he drinks it pretty much every day. I've been drinking it since 2017, since before they even sponsored me to tell you guys about it. I just love the product, and it's one of those rare opportunities where I get a sponsor that I genuinely enjoy and care about, and I get to tell you guys about it. But I appreciate that there's probably some people that see that they're a sponsor and they think, oh, Danny's just paid to tell us that G Fuel's good. But it's not the case. I genuinely love drinking G Fuel. I've been drinking a lot of the hydration G Fuel, which has electrolytes in, no sugar, no caffeine, and also PewDiePie's got a new hydrated G Fuel flavor out. If you do like caffeine and you want energy, cherry lemonade. So I always recommend to people, don't knock G Fuel until you actually try it for yourself. If you like sweet flavor, it's really good, and I have a massive sweet tooth, so it's so good for me. But if you want to try it out for yourself, you can use my link down below in the description. It's currently going to get you 30% off if you use code ESO at the checkout. So I recommend doing that before the end of the video, and let me know what you guys think. So at Bethesda's Quakecon, they announced that since it's the Elder Scrolls V's Skyrim's 10th anniversary, they would be re-releasing Skyrim for the 7th time. Todd Howard has done it again. But what do you get in this new edition of Skyrim? Well, first, just for the sake of fun, let's recap on how many editions of Skyrim there currently are. We started out with the first edition of Skyrim, which came out in 2011 with separate DLCs that were released after for PC, Xbox 360 and PS3. Almost 10 years ago, as old as this YouTube channel. Then next we had the Skyrim Legendary Edition, which came 2 years later, and it included the 3 DLCs in one package altogether with Skyrim. Then, the same year, they released bundled together in the Elder Scrolls Anthology alongside Oblivion, Morrowind, Daggerfall, and Arena. All the fantastic Elder Scrolls games in one package. Then next we had Skyrim Special Edition, the 64-bit version of Skyrim, which released in 2016, available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Windows, and PC. This version was then re-released again for Skyrim VR and Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch as well. And now finally we have Skyrim Anniversary Edition for PlayStation 4, 5 and Xbox One and Series X with backwards compatibility. So in total we have 19 separate Skyrim releases if you include each individual platform, and 20 if you include Skyrim on the Alexa. But now let's talk about what Skyrim Anniversary Edition, the new edition, actually is. It's going to be releasing on November the 11th 2021 this year, and it will include Skyrim Special Edition and 500 Creation Club elements and a free next-gen console upgrade, which I'll explain in a moment. But Bethesda's Skyrim Anniversary Edition will be a new game that you need to buy. Bethesda says that players who own or purchase either title on their Xbox One or PlayStation 4 will be able to upgrade for free to the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 versions when those versions are available. Additionally, our teams are working hard to ensure both titles will support backwards compatibility when the new console launches. I can't really see this being too much of a problem, to be honest, since it really is Skyrim Special Edition but with loads of Creation Club mods and next-gen enhancements. Currently though, we do not know what the next-gen console upgrade will look like in terms of graphical quality. I would love to see an ENB-like graphical enhancement though for console users, because that really takes the appearance of the game to the next level. Or even texture upgrades or any of the other graphical improvements that we've been enjoying on PC for many years now. But I don't expect this console enhancement to be that much of a leap when it comes to quality, so don't get too hyped for it. Just wait and see what it looks like. Make sure you subscribe with the bell icon if you want to be updated. I'll have a new news video as soon as we get to see some gameplay of what we can expect. I think the key reason for Bethesda making this move is that once again Bethesda and Microsoft get to sell you Skyrim again, which is a fantastic business decision because you will buy it again, and they'll also in addition get to sell you another 500 Creation Club editions, which you'll all be buying at an additional in-game cost. But before we get into that, let's talk about what you'll actually get for free if you already have Skyrim Special Edition. Not to be confused with the new Anniversary Edition. I know it's really confusing, isn't it? So current and future owners of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition or Anniversary Edition on any platform, including Xbox Game Pass subscribers, will receive access to 3 pieces of Creation Club content for free, which includes the new fishing feature, which I'll talk about at the end of the video, the survival mode, which obviously you can already buy in the original Skyrim Special Edition Creation Club, and new quests with Saints and Seducers. Now it does say new quests with Saints and Seducers, but I've already brought the Skyrim survival mode and the Saints and Seducers questline for around $30 or so in the Creation Club. So I don't fully understand if they're adding another questline with the same name, or they're just giving away this current Creation Club content that many people have already brought for free to people who now buy it. It's a great questline anyway, so if you do own Skyrim Special Edition and you've not played through it and you've not brought it like I have, I recommend actually going back and playing it. Additionally, Skyrim Special Edition owners on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, as well as Xbox Game Pass subscribers on Xbox Series X and S, will receive a free upgrade to an enhanced version on November 11th, 2021 for their respective PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X systems. So you'll be getting the enhanced version for free if you already own Skyrim Special Edition on those next-gen consoles. Now, existing owners of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition and Xbox Game Pass subscribers will also receive the option to purchase an Anniversary Edition upgrade for their Special Edition version of the game, to gain access to all the additional content found exclusively in the new Anniversary Edition of Skyrim. So essentially, Skyrim Special Edition Anniversary is going to include that extra 500 pieces of Creation Club content, which I am assuming will be in the form of in-game microtransactions that you'll be buying at an additional cost. Though there's been no mention of cost, I'm just going off the fact that all the other Creation Club content has been purchasable mini DLCs that you can buy in-game. This is really Bethesda and Microsoft moving to a games as a service model, which we've seen with the new Assassin's Creed games, where it's all about having in-game transactions that prolong the life of a game and mean that in theory you can play that game forever. And I think Skyrim is a living example of just that. The mods have kept that game and community alive, and you have fans constantly creating content that feeds into your game experience, so you you can repeatedly play Skyrim in a different way with each playthrough, with new quests, characters, followers, voice actors, everything. And I think Bethesda are really trying to capitalize on that as a business. I really wouldn't be surprised to see The Elder Scrolls 6 have a similar system where the game just has an infinite life cycle of content that's constantly being added to it. And personally, I think it's cool that Bethesda constantly will be supporting the game. I just hope that whatever content they're going to be adding here is reasonably priced, because obviously you're buying Skyrim again, essentially. And wow, wouldn't it be magical if they included those 500 pieces of Creation Club content for free? I really do not expect that to be the case, because they specifically mentioned the 3 pieces of content that you will be getting for free, and that's not included in the 500 pieces of Creation Club content that I assume will be buyable. But one of the new pieces of content you will be getting for free is the new fishing mechanic, so let's look at that.
You don't have to dive in the water and click blindly anymore, right? You can now grab a fishing pole, do some fishing quests. It's a great addition to the game. It'll be free to everyone, and it really adds to, again, the immersion of the world of just running around Skyrim. You can now go and fish.
So we have fishing quests and a new fishing mechanic. Now it looks like we're using a preset fishing location where these fishing supplies are located near a river that can then be activated to enter this fishing mini-game animation, where you probably have to react to the fisher's activity to actually capture the fish, like in real life. Now, the pogfish, which we capture here on screen, is actually, yes, a legit fish in the Elder Scrolls universe, one of the many that exist in the series, but have clearly been added as part of this new Creation Club DLC. So it'll be really cool to have a bunch of new alchemy ingredients with new properties and things that everyone has access to, since this is being added to the game for free. And I'm sure this mini quest series will send us around Skyrim capturing certain rare fish, since that has also become a very popular pastime in the Elder Scrolls Online, where the fishing mechanic, you can travel all over Tamriel capturing different types of rare fish and using different fish bait in different locations. So it will be interesting to see if fishing bait actually features in this DLC as well. Now I do believe there are already free mods that exist for Skyrim that add fishing into the game to varying levels of success, and even ones that add boats as well, so you can actually go out on a boat and fish, which is a rather nice, tranquil thing to do. Finally, we have the most important question. What is included within the 500 pieces of Creation Club content? That is a lot of content, and it explains why Bethesda has been so quiet on the Creation Club for so long. I assume they were waiting to be acquired by Microsoft and then planning with them how they were going to proceed with their Creation Club payment model. So Bethesda confirms that they've added new quests, new dungeons, bosses, new weapons, spells, and more. And they also mentioned that some of which, you've seen before. And one thing I've been repeating for years is that they should add in all the previous weapons that we know and love, and armor sets from every Elder Scrolls game that we've played. They've even started to do this with some of the Oblivion Shivering Isles armor sets from the Saints and Seducers Creation Club DLC, and in this sense we'll hopefully be seeing some new lore-friendly quests and stories surrounding how these weapons and armors actually ended up in Skyrim and how we can obtain them. I really specifically enjoyed the Saints and Seducers DLC because it was one quest that specifically went above and beyond compared to anything else that had previously been added in the Creation Club to actually explain the lore of how the items ended up in Skyrim, which to me made it all the more magical. As for the new dungeons and bosses, I'd love to see some epic challenging boss fights and new things to battle that we haven't seen before, in the form of new enemies and 3D models for them that are truly unique. Some of my favourite mods for Skyrim also increase the spawn rate of adventurers, NPCs and enemies travelling through the world, and it just gives those extra random encounters as you're wandering through the wilds of Skyrim, and it makes the game seem more alive and exciting. As for the new spells, we don't actually have a spell creation system within Skyrim like we did in the previous game, so it would be great to see something like this and even more variety beyond the original game. Obviously we do have lots of spell mods for Skyrim like Requiem that have more than satisfied many people's needs, but I'm not so sure console users actually have access to those specific spells, so it'll be interesting to see what Bethesda comes up with in that regard. I'd also love to see some new like assassin contracts or thief contracts where you have to sneak into certain people's houses and steal things, but it's completely guarded and it's really hard to get in and out, or even thieves tools that allow you to extinguish flames, and you know, all those cool gameplay mechanics that just make you want to replay certain situations in scenarios, and they're not just a one-time quest that you do once and you're like, that was cool, and then you're done and that was it. That's why I really like the addition of Skyrim survival mode, because it meant you could replay the whole game and it was a different experience. And also, if you want to win yourself a copy of Skyrim Anniversary Edition or any other game of your choice, I'm actually running a Skyrim challenge competition right now. Check out the link below if you want more information on that. You basically just have to post your own Skyrim clips of you doing funny things and killing certain NPCs.